Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. Have you ever watched a concert and suddenly a small moment turns into a huge discussion across the entire fandom? From a simple glance, a smile, to a short sentence, everything can feel much deeper than it appears on the surface. At this BTS concert, there was one thing that truly stole the spotlight: Jimins Charm, which many fans even described as fairy-like. Paired with Jungkook's strong charisma, the two delivered visuals and chemistry that felt almost unreal. But behind the beauty of the stage, there's another story that is rarely talked about meaningful little moments, warm connections, and the immense pressure coming from the outside. So, what really happened behind all the attention? BTS concerts have always delivered unforgettable experiences, but one thing that truly stood out and became a hot topic among fans was Jimins Charm. When photos from the concert began circulating, many people were stunned by his almost unreal visuals. Some even called him a fairy because of his soft aura and striking beauty. On the other hand, Jungkook also looked incredible, radiating a strong charisma that perfectly complemented the overall performance. In high-resolution photos, the two looked so flawless that it almost felt like a scene from another world. Before the tour began, both Jimin and Jungkook shared their thoughts. Jimin emphasized that this tour was not just a series of ordinary concerts, but an effort to present something new, fresh, and more meaningful. He wanted every audience member to feel a different experience from before. Meanwhile, Jungkook honestly expressed a mix of excitement and nervousness. For him, returning to the stage and meeting fans again was something he deeply looked forward to, but it also came with its own pressure. Both agreed that this tour was not only a challenge, but also an opportunity to grow. They didn't just want to perform as entertainers, but as artists who continue to explore. With a more refined visual concept, a 360-degree stage setup, and a more personal approach to the audience, this concert was designed not just as entertainment, but as an emotional and cultural experience that leaves a lasting impression. Amid the dazzling stage lights and the roaring crowd, it was the small moments that felt the warmest. One of them was how Jimin kept encouraging Jungkook, even during high-energy performances like Dynamite. With a soft tone and an adorable expression, Jimin asked, "Are you ready?" That simple sentence felt special because of its sincerity. Jungkook's slightly surprised reaction showed that the moment was truly spontaneous, not something planned. Jimin's performance that night also became a major highlight. With his long blonde hair, he radiated a blend of softness and strong charisma. Every movement, expression, and gaze carried its own charm. It was hard for anyone not to be captivated. Even in small interactions, like when Jimin showed something on his arm to Jungkook, their relationship looked natural and comfortable. The harmony between Jimin and Jungkook's voices became one of the most memorable highlights. Their vocals complemented each other beautifully, creating a deep emotional atmosphere. There were also lighthearted moments that brought smiles, such as when Jimin was talking with V and Jungkook suddenly approached them, as if he didn't want to be too far away. This simple gesture felt alive and reflected genuine closeness. One of the most touching moments was when Jungkook was seen pausing several times just to look at Jimin. His gaze was full of attention, even accompanied by small gestures like placing a hand on his chest, as if feeling relieved seeing Jimin doing well. These small actions conveyed big emotions: care, admiration, and pride. When Jimin spoke on stage, Jungkook was never truly silent. He kept responding, interacting, and even looked like a fan completely captivated by his own idol. His enthusiastic attitude made the atmosphere feel even warmer and more endearing. Then, when Jimin performed "Come Over," the mood shifted to something more emotional. His voice sounded powerful yet full of feeling. He even sang a part of Arirang in a deeply touching way, while a gentle breeze moved his hair, creating an almost magical atmosphere. At the same time, Jungkook pointed toward Jimin while singing his lines, a simple gesture that felt incredibly meaningful. All of these moments, no matter how small, formed a beautiful story. Not just about a stage performance, but about connection, care, and warmth that felt truly real between them. However, behind all the grandeur and beauty, there is a much darker and concerning side. The pressure and attacks directed at the friends and families of Jimin and Jungkook have become a serious issue that cannot be ignored. Those targeted are ordinary people, not public figures who chose to live under the spotlight. Yet in reality, they often cannot share anything without being flooded with negative comments. The case involving Jungkook's trainer is a clear example. He simply posted a message of gratitude after attending the concert, even calling Jimin and Jungkook the best, something completely normal. However, the post triggered a wave of unreasonable criticism and hate. He even had to edit his post multiple times, add photos, and rewrite messages in different languages just to calm the situation. This is not a small issue. It is a form of social pressure that forces someone to adjust themselves just to avoid attacks. Even though they did nothing wrong. No boundaries were crossed, no controversial actions were taken, yet they were treated as if they were at fault. This phenomenon shows that some people have lost the boundary between reality and obsession. They feel entitled to control the narrative, even over the lives of those around the idols they admire. As a result, many people close to idols choose to delete posts, limit interactions, or even leave social media entirely to protect themselves. This raises an important question. Can someone not simply be friends or interact without fear? Should every gesture be analyzed and twisted as if it carries a hidden meaning? Even from an outside perspective, this feels exhausting, let alone for those experiencing it directly. This issue is also connected to the tendency to categorize everything and force certain narratives. When something doesn't align with expectations, the reactions are often excessive and irrational. What people forget is that behind all of this are real human beings with feelings that can be hurt. Ironically, this kind of behavior also impacts the idols themselves. Their interactions become limited, their freedom restricted, and their relationships with people around them become more complicated than they should be. In the end, it's important to realize that this is not a healthy form of support. This is not about love for an artist, but about obsession that crosses the line. As long as this behavior continues to be normalized or justified, the cycle will never stop. No one should feel the need to change what they say, edit their posts, or censor themselves just to avoid online attacks. The fandom world should be a positive space, not one filled with pressure and fear. From every glance, small interaction, to the touching harmony of their voices, we can see that this concert was not just a performance. It was a story about real connection and genuine emotion. But at the same time, we are reminded that there are boundaries that should never be crossed. That support should bring warmth, not pressure. So, what do you think? Are all these moments purely coincidental? Or is there a deeper meaning behind them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss more exciting moments on Jikook Moments. See you in the next video.